What's up, guys? Welcome back to the 1% podcast. Today I'm here with Will and Hayden. Rory's missing again. It was a bit too early for him, so
crack of dawn, mate.
we're going to talk about the 13 rules of self-improvement. There is exactly 13, not 14, not 12. There's 13 of them. You miss one, you fail. And that's pretty much how it works. But we'll start with Cope of the Week. Our cameraman is adjusting some shit. We good? That's the beauty of a cameraman. We'll start with Cope of the Week.
Yes.
Do you boys have a cope?
Right, so I actually told my one, but I completely forgot what it was now.
I've got plenty of copes this week. I
think it was good. I didn't rock up to sparring on Tuesday because I lost my mouth guard.
That was last week, wasn't it?
Oh wait,
No, that was this week. That was this week.
That was this week. Yeah. I didn't go to sparring because I lost my mouth guard. I don't know how you lose a mouth guard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's your cope. My cope of the week is I didn't go to the boxing hit session because I wanted to get some rest in. That was pretty much it. I wanted to get some 8 hours. Don't need rest. Sleep. Rest when you die.
Right, what is your cope?
Boys, let us know you're here in the chat, by the way, guys.
I don't have one.
Yeah, you're just so cool.
Or ring
You're
in.
so good. You know,
I'm genuinely trying to think if I do. No, I don't. No.
Nah, all good. Hayden's had a perfect week.
Hayden
Yeah.
is the MVP podcast.
I'm on a roll. 2 weeks, something like I will say I have like an odd because at work they have like a little chocolate on the desk for you. I have like
Oh, man.
Mate.
gains lost. Other than that, nothing.
Check out the carve gains. Just get it on this camera. Look at these. Get in the middle camera. Look at these carve gains, boys. They're not pressed up against the couch or nothing. All right, 13 rules of self-improvement. I'll just get straight into them. I'll start buzzing them. Yeah, you see? So, first one being, get a healthy diet. Do people need a healthy diet?
I think that's the first thing you should change, honestly,
100%.
because you are what you fuel your body, and if you just eat junk food, like your brain's gonna be
D-subs,
junk.
how you doing, brother?
People don't understand how direct the correlation is between your stomach and your brain.
Yeah, and literally just eating healthy improves like ideas, in my opinion, a lot. Like just thinking, literally everything. But I just remember the big difference was my, thinking of shit.
Yeah.
Just
I mean, specifically on podcast days, which are Sundays, I like to optimize my diet to make sure that I'm as sharp as possible because it has such a direct correlation. Like, that's the main thing I'm focused on is what am I eating throughout the day? Obviously, sleep plays a massive role as well, but when I'm eating, I want to be eating no carbs, pretty much. I don't want to be eating a single fucking carb, even though I had carbs this morning. I just want to be eating meat, or ideally, no, Wheat Bix. But ideally, I want to be eating nothing throughout the day because I feel like I'm the sharpest when I've had literally nothing. I want to fast. But if I'm going to be eating something, like I had just turkey mince and that's all I've had today.
Yeah, all I've had today is chicken mince, 500 grams of chicken mince, and I had 4 Wheat Bix in the morning.
Yeah.
But I feel sharp because I haven't it's like when you have KFC and you just fall asleep pretty much.
Yeah.
You basically turns you into an NPC.
It does.
And so that is why they promote so much carbs in the grocery stores. That is why all the carbs are at eye level and they package food as a new craze.
Yeah.
Is because it keeps you as an NPC and in the system.
It
is that deep.
Well, they're fucking cheap to make. That's the only reason oats are a thing. They were only meant
literally.
to feed peasants because it's just cheaper to. And then the
Carbs are for peasants.
Yeah, and then the kings ate steak and they ate like all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
But now we've just been like, oh, well, oats is what we eat.
I mean, how much does it cost for a box of Wheat Bix? Like $3.
Fuck all.
Like for a whole thing, it feeds you for the week.
How funny is this? There's like 3 different brands of Wheat Bix, and they're all different prices. They're all the same fucking thing. It's
Yeah,
like
I was
lots
getting.
of wheat.
I was buying. I was looking at it. It was like $4 for like a small thing of branded Wheat Bix.
Yeah.
Or at the bottom, it was $3.50 for like a family pack of home brand Wheat Bix. And my girl's like, "No, don't get those. Get the branded Wheat Bix."
They're just
Is it-
blocks.
fuck, it's just wheat.
Wheat Bix the brand?
Yeah, Wheat Bix is the brand,
Okay, yeah.
but people love brand names, and that's why they want to buy from the big brands,
Like,
even if
Wheat
it costs
Bix
more.
is like iconic.
It's like, wow, what a reliable
Yeah.
source of wheat.
It's like the
It's the same
it's
shit.
like the whole VG water thing. There's like
Yeah.
12 different brands
Yeah.
of water. It's
Or
the
the
same
Voss,
shit.
like the big Voss.
Yeah.
They're the most expensive ones.
There's something to learn there with marketing. Like
It's literally the same thing.
you can sell the
It's
same
a
thing as someone
different
else.
Container.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you just market it towards someone different or market anyway.
Next.
Side tangent.
So yeah, getting a healthy diet, that is a must as a high value man.
That is
or
the
someone
biggest
who's trying to
change,
achieve something.
the biggest shift you can make in your entire life. For
You
your
think so?
physical health, your mental health, even your wealth. Because when you eat healthy, you think of better ideas. You're operating. It's like trying to feed your. It's like trying to put fucking SpaghettiOs in your fucking car's fuel tank.
That's 100%.
and then expecting it to run. Good.
Trying to put diesel on a petrol car.
That is your fuel. That is what runs you. Like
Yeah.
A lot of builders
get
go
that
with the
98
approach.
octane type shit. You know what I'm saying?
A lot of these bodybuilders go with the approach They're just trying to fuel their body. They're not trying to do it for some taste or to get
That's how I
a
have it.
dopamine reward. It's just purely for fuel, and that's how we eat, and that's how most people should eat.
Bro, the biggest reaction I get is when I tell people I've been eating the same, pretty much, apart from weekends, there's a little bit of variation, but on the weekdays, I eat this exact same set of meals every day for like the last year.
Yeah.
And people are like, how can you do that? I'm like, well, your fucking dog does it. Just fine. Like,
Notice how your dog is happy to eat every single time.
Throw the dogs.
I get more excited for food than
Yeah.
anybody else because I'm so used to this set.
Oh, I don't know. I've seen
If I
some
have
fat
anything
people
else-
get pretty
If I have
excited.
anything else that isn't those meals, I'm so happy.
Exactly.
Like when I go just for a pub meal.
Oh,
so good.
It
bro.
gives you a new appreciation for good food.
It does.
I'll tell you that.
Yeah, that's so true.
And it makes you not want junk food.
Exactly, yeah. But anyway, yeah, diet. We can all pretty much agree that's the number one rule. Like, that is the biggest difference you can make. Eh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Second rule of being a self-improvementer: keeping an open mind. This is a
Yes.
big one, and this is why I was kind of going with the is this the biggest rule with the diet? I think keeping an open mind is huge as well.
Yeah.
If you want to succeed, you cannot, in simple terms, be an NPC.
Yeah.
You have to keep a broad open mind, which I think a lot of people fail to have.
That is the biggest thing I noticed with most people that haven't opened their mind to this whole side of life, whatever you want to call it. It's just they're so small-minded. And like, I think a big example was I took some guy to the gym ages ago, and like anytime you do something that's not like, I don't know, like you like make a certain noise or you like start like, you know, posing in the mirror or something, they're like, start laughing or something. Like it's because they're so small-minded and they think that's just like a weird thing to do. Or like people who can't see through just like their preconceived notions. You know what I mean?
Or just normal society norms.
Yeah, like norms, yeah.
Yeah.
I can look at, say for instance, there's someone making some sort of video that would be perceived as weird. Most people would look at that and be like, fucking weirdo. But I can look through it, see,
The
okay, this guy's
intentions.
the intentions, he's just trying something new, he's doing it to invoke a reaction, whatever. I can see things from a broad perspective.
Which
Most
is
people
which is
cannot.
very, very important because
Yeah.
a lot of people shut down great business ideas or
Yep.
great ideas that would normally be really successful.
That's the
ideas.
biggest thing that stops everyone because they're scared of what people will think of them because it's just not in the norm and they can't open their mind to like.
So how do you proactively get an open mind then?
See, I don't even know, bro. Like you just fucking do it.
Don't be a fuckwit.
Yeah, like just
kind of just listen to what people have to say and don't judge.
Yeah.
Like that's really it. Just don't judge anyone.
And you have
just
to
kind of be like, just even if you don't think it's really correct in a way, you don't have to be like that's bad. Just be like, oh yeah, you want to do that, nice.
It also makes you a better person, I think.
does,
And
yeah.
like social events and stuff as well. Like
Yeah, and you can have longer conversations because you're willing to sit and listen to what these people have to say
yeah.
instead of just judging them.
Far more interesting too.
Yeah.
I can't stand talking to people like that, man. They're just like, if you bring up a certain subject that isn't normal, they just shut it down. No matter what they actually think, if it's not in the societal norms and they don't have an open mind, it's almost like they've disengaged from the conversation. They're not actually listening
Yeah.
to what you're saying. All they're thinking is just like weird or something.
Yeah.
Oh, see, I can listen to any point of view or any perspective and actually, I don't know, get in their shoes and see what they're talking
I
about.
think that's a very masculine trait, having an open mind too, because you know a lot of people that are masculine have quite an open mind because they're not scared to be weird or perceived as different for having a differing opinion or an open mind, so to speak.
Yeah.
And that's like standing out from the pack,
Yeah.
which is dangerous.
Yeah. That's why I've always completely stopped talking to people like that. That is like, what do you call them? Like insta judges. They just instantly judge.
They have a small mind, which means they have small growth potential.
Yes,
They are
exactly.
staying in this like little bubble and they'll never expand.
I always like to think it's sort of an intelligence thing though as well.
Yeah.
It's a bit of an IQ thing.
Yeah.
Like,
We'll get on to the next rule of being a self-improvementer. Listen more than you talk, which is pretty ironic because we're sitting on a podcast talking for 2 hours straight.
Yeah, but if we had a guest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Boys, ask some questions and we'll sit down and listen to them.
Yeah.
But-
Or ring in, we'll listen to you.
yeah. But the reason is, you want to be learning most amount of time. That's how you grow, yeah?
Yeah.
If you're talking, you're not learning. All you're doing is just spitting out what you've learned.
Yeah.
So,
Exactly.
but like you say, how we're on here talking right now, I literally spend 8 hours a day at work listening to podcasts.
Yeah.
So if you actually think about like a ratio there, I listen to so much information compared
Yeah.
to the average person.
100%.
Like, yeah. And the more you learn, the more you progress. Like,
What was that Arnold quote? It said you have 2 ears,
Oh, yeah.
1 mouth.
He said you have 2 ears, 1 mouth, so do twice as much listening as speaking.
Yeah, that's 100%.
Yeah.
More than twice, I'd
Yeah.
say. A lot of people don't know anything, but just like a yap all
Yeah.
day. Yap,
oh
yap,
my
yap, yap.
God, bro.
Okay, I will say, if you,
You
do
sound
want to
dumb.
learn like a lot on how to make your life better, read that Arnold book. It's so
What's it
like,
called?
seven tools of life or something. But it's called like Be Useful.
Yeah.
It's called Be Useful.
Read
It's
books.
just- it's-
That's a form of listening.
Literally read books. I've only read one book, but like I've learnt so much in it, and I'm on my phone less. Like,
A lot of people don't realize that's like people think that intelligence is like a genetic thing, which yeah, there is some degree of genetics involved there, but a lot of it is just what you listen to, what you learn.
I've always said intelligence comes from perspicacity, just being aware of your
Yes,
environment
yes.
and what's going on. Like, a lot of people say, for instance, like a lot of people ask me, like, how do you know so much about a certain thing, like cars or whatever? I don't actually go out there and research cars. I'll just see one go past, and instead of just being like, oh, okay, I'm like, what is that brand? What is
Yeah.
that model? What is that blah, blah, blah.
Look
And
it up.
I do that with a lot of things. Just be super hyper aware. I think that's how you just pick up on things and little
Yeah.
bits of information. You just analyze things to that little next degree that most people don't.
Yeah.
And you end up learning like a lot.
A degree doesn't mean you're smart.
Yeah.
Like in school.
Oh, that too. That's just.
It doesn't mean you're smart.
A degree.
I'd almost say the opposite, to be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you got fooled, you got vajazzled,
Yeah,
mate.
yeah, you got
Yeah.
famoosed by the government.
We're going to the 4th rule of being the number 1 self-improvementer. Practice stoicism. What is stoicism, Will?
Not letting your emotions take control of you. Not being reactive, being logical.
That's toxic.
Yeah, whatever, man. But yeah, just being stoic, like the ancient Stoics. They're just
A lot of people get this confused with having no emotion. A lot of people
Yeah.
say, "Oh, I've got to be emotionless." Having emotion. It's actually guys feel emotions a lot stronger than females do. But it's about what you do with those emotions. Like you're always going to have emotions. That is the life experience. But it's about what you do with it. And the Stoics, yeah, exactly. The ancient Stoics never preached be emotionless. They preached have as much emotion as you want, but it's what you do with that. It's if you react on that, which is what, you people really need to fucking learn. People
Oh.
really need to learn this.
100%. Like if you're reactive with your emotions, how can you control any factor of your life?
You are under no control.
You're not. Yeah, your emotions are in control of you. How, like, if you let your girlfriend breaking up with you make your life spiral out of control, that's just because you've listened to your emotions, and that's literally just fucked you. Like,
Success requires every single day. Well, it requires being consistent. Your emotions, are not consistent.
inconsistent.
They're very, 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 very inconsistent. So being stoic will allow you to be successful because it will make you consistent. You're always going to have shit going on up here. Always. Always, always, always. Yeah, it might like level out and you'll have highs, you'll have lows, but you've got to remain consistent.
Yeah. Stoicism is pretty much stability. It's consistency. It ensures that you're always on the right path and you're not letting your emotions just fucking throw you off the tracks, which is pointless. It's a roadblock. So you just gotta learn to definitely not let your emotions take control of you.
Yeah.
How would you say you do that though? How do you say you develop that skill?
That's interesting. It's
Logically, in my opinion.
Also that, and I think enduring hardships as well.
yeah.
Like a
Getting used
lot
to
of
it.
things are gonna happen to you for the first time. Like your first breakup is always gonna fucking crush you every time, or your first whatever it is.
Yeah.
You just got to go through shit. Learn like, okay, how can I not let that control me next time?
Yeah, and I'd just say just understanding that stoicism will be
Being aware of it. Yeah.
it will be beneficial for your life.
Yeah.
I mean, if you want to achieve things and be a high value man and have high value things, you've got to learn it. You can't just be an emotion because women are emotional. That's what women do.
That's what separates.
You're a
men from
bloke.
women.
It's different. It is different. As toxic as that might sound, every single person that is successful has had to practice stoicism because if they didn't, their girlfriend might break up with them and then the business, which does happen, then the business goes under and everything just flies off. This happens all the time.
I think that's probably one of the biggest determining factors into why men, this is not sexist, statistically are better in business, make more money,
100%.
and are more successful in that realm because they're more stoic and they don't let their emotions throw them off track. They just do what they need to do, regardless of how they feel.
Number 5, operate from abundance. What does this mean, Will?
Massive. So don't go into life with a scarce mindset. The biggest example I think is with women. Settling down with one that treats you like shit, or one that you don't want, or one that you don't love,
I could fucking go on
because
this.
you're like, but I can't get another one. That's all I've got. She's the one.
Yeah.
That, if
But there is some truth in that. At their current state, that is all
Exactly.
they could get.
Yes, but you still. I think even if that is the truth, you still need to operate under the mindset of, I am abundant in this. Even if you aren't, just fool yourself into thinking you're abundant in everything, because then you just start holding on to shit that you don't need. You start holding on to shit that isn't progressing.
Same applies with jobs.
Yeah,
Everything
this is the
like
biggest
that.
mistake I made, just holding on to a job that was destroying my body because I had that scarcity mind. I don't know why. I was like, this is the only job I can get. This is like, I don't know.
Same with money. It's like, for a better understanding of the viewers watching, so basically having a scarcity mindset is like there are low resources in your life. It's like there is, not enough money to go around, not enough women to go around, not enough and just stuff to go around. But having an abundance mindset is there is so much out here. It also makes you happier.
100%,
there is just so much opportunity out here, which there is because abundance is the truth. There really is so much out there. And like that saying, the hungry don't get fed. And this has been trialed in heaps of studies. The guy that walks into the restaurant, who looks the par, he looks like he's abundant, he's got the nice suit on, looks good, pulls up in the nice car, he gets treated better, he gets fed more stuff, he gets, given more free stuff. You get a homeless person to go in that restaurant who's just begging for change and everyone's disgusted. They don't, the truth is, society doesn't want to give that person money. That's just how it works. That is, for some reason, human nature. And that's just human nature. That's not how I feel. That is just how it is.
That's how dudes end up in fucked up relationships too. Just
yeah. It's like, what are you doing holding on to that for?
Yeah.
Sorry, not just for, but like a bitch too.
Yeah. She's like, she treats me like shit, but she's alright. Like,
dude, I know so many guys. I'm not trying to call anyone out here. That get cheated on and then go back. Where is your self-respect?
Yeah.
Where is it?
That's because you have a scarcity mindset and you think, but she still she loves me, or I love her, and
I can't do better.
That's, you're basically telling the world and yourself, I can't do better.
Yeah, that gets ingrained in your head. And then your self-image is just, I am a piece of shit.
The abundance mindset it's massive once you switch to it, because a chick just like shows one red flag, or she starts treating you like shit. It's just gone. I got plenty of others. Even if you don't, you're better being single.
Yeah,
or you're better just opening yourself to the market again. Like,
abundance is also saying I'm right on my own. I'm good on my own.
Exactly.
That's what it is. You don't rely on anyone else.
Yeah.
It's like even worse than the cheating thing is the amount of disrespect that guys get and tolerate from women or anyone, really.
Because they operate under scarcity.
Because they operate under scarcity.
Yeah.
You've really got to say, as egotistical as it is and as narcissistic as it is, I am the fucking man and I choose what happens in my life.
Even if you aren't the man, you are better off
believing you are. Believing you
the
are.
Man.
100%.
Yes, you're better off believing you are.
But I reckon get to a stage where you'll be fine on your own before you get into a relationship.
Yes.
Because then that's what happens. You're like, even if I don't get with someone, I'm fucked by myself. Like, you have to think that you'll be fine by yourself.
You
don't need help.
Never go into the grocery store when you're hungry. It's like never go into a relationship when you're lonely or you need it.
Exactly, yeah.
It's the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, you need to not need things. You need to, like you said, just be okay in the situation you are, and anything else that comes into your life is an addition.
Yeah.
That's abundance.
Like, for example, with the whole chick wanting to leave you and people who, they're like, oh no, I can't do it without her. If you're fine being by yourself, yeah, you will be upset. You'll be like, it's okay. I'll be fine.
Yeah.
I'll be sweet.
Yeah.
This guy said, men can live without women, but women can't live without men. See, that dynamic's changing though. If we're talking realistically now, it is different because women are becoming men in a sense.
We're equalizing.
Now we're equalizing because that's what society wants. That's what the higher ups want. We are all equalizing. There is some truth in what you're saying. Like,
if you put them into
but women literally can live without men now.
Yes.
They can. Like, physically they can.
And I think that's actually a problem.
100%
I think that's a problem
is.
because dudes don't take that responsibility in wanting to look after a lady or just want to provide for women.
Me personally, that's how I'd want the dynamic.
That's how I want it, yeah.
So, but yeah, what you're saying has truth in it, but these days, single mothers everywhere. Single dads everywhere.
Because dudes have the mindset now, like, fuck it, bro, we split the bill, that's not fair. Split
Yeah,
the bill, split
yeah.
the rent and all this shit. I think that's beta, bro. Like, if you actually took some responsibility, you'd want to be the provider.
Yeah, you don't want a lazy chick, but it's at
Yeah,
the same
exactly.
time,
Yeah.
it's like...
Yeah.
so nice taking care of someone, giving
Yeah.
someone.
That is what I feel
giving-
fulfilled.
yeah,
That's
giving
I
someone
feel
a
better.
life, giving someone
Yeah.
a nice life.
Exactly.
Feels good.
I feel better providing. I feel better for providing for a chick in certain ways than just keeping the money or keeping the whatever it is.
Yeah.
You just feel better, don't you?
Especially if I'm having a kid, the woman is not working.
No.
That's
Yeah,
ridiculous. That makes me feel sad when like there's
They're going to work while they're pregnant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then like
That's
yeah,
just
yeah, and then like
ridiculous.
let's send the kid to a fucking like a
Daycare.
government
a government run childcare.
a government run
That will make
fucking,
them.
let's let other people control my child's future, whatever.
Yeah.
Next one, do the harder thing. So Will, you wrote this down. What does that mean?
Do the harder thing. It's always you're always going to be better off doing the harder thing than the easier thing. But this is like you could take this out of context, but it's more like you will feel better when you do the hard choice. Like eat the healthy food when it's easier, even if it's easier to eat the shit food. Like you drive past McDonald's, it's easy just go in there and buy a cheeseburger. But you're better off going and buying some ingredients to make a healthy meal. It's harder to do, but you'll be better off.
Yeah.
Or, for instance, sit inside, play video games. That's easier than going to the gym, but you'll be better off. Usually, 99% of the time, doing the harder thing is more beneficial for your life. Every time.
Yeah.
100%. Even sometimes with in business, we're talking in business, the harder thing to do in the business is what's more beneficial.
Oh.
Like there's things like little quick shortcuts that people will promote in business, but in the long run, that will harm your business.
Yeah.
Like sometimes you just want to get the hard, tedious thing done.
Yeah, like I fucking hate script writing, but that's literally the most beneficial thing because that's the bread and butter of my videos, my script. But I hate writing the scripts, and that's the hardest thing for me to do. But if I can just grit my teeth and do it, just get it done, then
Yeah.
that's the best thing I could have done.
Yeah, I think that's why I think it was like 98% of businesses fail, and it's because they get to a thing that's hard, and they're like, "Oh fuck this! I don't want to do it. It's too hard."
I just wanted to design a logo. And
I just wanted to make clothes, but I don't want to actually sell it because it's too hard.
The
But,
problem
like,
is that is all these like shitfluencers that are just like,
yeah,
set up an e-com shop, set up a Shopify shop and do drop shipping and make $1 million in the first couple of weeks.
yeah, but still, you're gonna come across like hard stuff that's hard in any situation, and instead of giving up on that thing that's hard is not good.
Yeah.
Like,
I don't know.
Keep going no matter
people
what.
are just soft, man. They don't want to do that.
yeah,
that
harden
was
the
the-
fuck up.
Yeah, that was the mistake I made. When I was first getting into the whole world of entrepreneurship, the first thing I did was I tried drop shipping. I think that's like what everyone does at the start.
Yeah.
I just, what was I selling? LED lights or something. And it was all fun, right? I was making the store, I was finding the products, whatever. And then the time came round to actually sell the fucking lights. I sold one and I'm just like, this is too hard. And just gave up on it.
Thing is though, with drop shipping, it's not your thing you're selling. It's very hard. I feel like it would be
hard to be
very
passionate
hard.
about it.
Yeah, you have to be a fucking mindless person, in my opinion, like crazy to keep doing it because it's like it's not yours.
The
that you're
people that
selling.
do succeed in the drop shipping industry are the ones that then build a brand off of the product.
Yeah.
And they get like 3PLs and they build their own brand name and, they're actually passionate about the product.
Yeah, true.
Anyway, we'll get to the next thing. I forgot to say this at the start. So delayed gratification, we've already sort of ran through that. That's one.
How about OnlyFans management?
OnlyFans manager, what the fuck are you talking about?
Is that what you said?
No, delayed gratification.
No, just comment.
No. OnlyFans management. We can talk about that. So here's a good business model that I came up with before. AI OnlyFans, where you run a bunch of AI models.
No, I've seen that.
which is
It's
a thing
already-
now,
someone's
and I
already done
fucking
it.
predicted it.
Yeah.
Where you create an AI avatar of this girl, and then you convince old men or retards or whatever that it's a real chick. You get them attached by messaging them, hey, maybe how you going and
I've
stuff.
got OnlyFans.
I've got OnlyFans. You do all that, and it's not. Is it really that bad?
It's actually the most ethical.
It's the ethical
it's
way of
more
doing it.
ethical than a real OnlyFans.
I mean, these guys are just going to spend money elsewhere, but was it
Paying for
OnlyFans
pixels,
management?
bro.
I don't know, man. I think it's super degenerate. I think there's better ways of making money, but
I just think like imagine telling your parents, "Oh yeah, I got rich off OnlyFans management."
yeah.
I'd rather just do a real fucking business. I'm sure there's plenty of money in it though. Like if
Oh yeah, there is. You see how much money they get?
100%.
yeah, I know. Yeah, fucking know.
It's stupid.
Yeah. What was it that what's her name? That Cash Me Outside chick.
Bad baby. or whatever.
Made $1
Yeah.
million in the first.
It was like $1 million in a first day or
Yeah.
first week or something. Some ridiculous number.
Dude, oh my god.
Imagine what would
Dude,
you
her poor
pay?
dad. Her dad.
Ah, dad's well gone, bro. Probably went and got the milk.
All right, next thing before we get cancelled. Never get complacent. That's number 7.
You wrote that down, I think. Elaborate.
Never get complacent. Never think that you're good enough. Now, this is going to sound bad because the mainstream wants to purport that you are good enough as you are. You are perfect. You are...
Imagine capping yourself at like...
You're just capping yourself. You're really just telling
Idiots,
yourself
man.
fibs, man. I mean, if you really are completely okay with who you are and you're being fully honest, sure, whatever. You know what I mean?
I think the best way is never think you're perfect.
Yeah.
Because like the way you said made him feel like you're not good enough for it. But in the way I think is don't say you're perfect because there's always room for improvement. Is that
That's
what you mean?
essentially the point.
Yeah.
Being complacent is just being so comfortable and thinking you're just good enough to stay where you are.
Yeah.
And maybe that is what you want, but if you're on self-improvement, you want to improve.
Yeah. Always think.
Always learn new things.
Yeah.
Always find new ways of doing stuff. Never settle. Never... You want to just keep moving. Because that is what progression is. It's leveling up. But some people just sit right where they are because it's very comfortable.
I think complacency is a huge reason that society is running so fucking smoothly or whatever. Because people don't want to... Like, if everyone wasn't complacent, then everyone would be trying to be a millionaire.
Yeah.
But there's certain people that are just happy to just work a 9 to 5.
Most people.
Get a...
They're not happy though.
Wouldn't say happy,
They're
but
not
they're
happy.
they're
just
they're
stuck.
okay.
They're okay. They're comfortable.
They're okay. They're comfortable enough to be complacent and
Yeah.
not want to achieve better things.
Oh yeah.
And they just get like a girlfriend that like or a wife that they, you know, she's
It's
alright,
good enough. Good enough.
slightly abusive.
It's
but
what I could
it'll
get.
do.
What
Yeah.
I could get.
Yeah.
That's complacent. Like thinking they're like it's alright. It's good enough. He can sit down and have a beer and watch TV at the end of the day.
Like they
Which I'm sure there's some bliss in that.
got
Yes.
out of school, got this job, and got a missus, and then just stayed there their whole life.
That was what was
Yeah.
expected of them. They've completed that. Good enough.
Yeah. So it's also a lack of like a lot of people stay there because they have a lack of they don't believe in themselves a lot. Like they think they're only capable of this one.
Or they're too scared to fail.
Fucking job. Yeah, yeah. Or they're too scared to fail. Or they're too scared to like lose money. Yeah.
This is why I have to explain to so many, especially like like my parents and stuff. It's like, why don't you just chill out, just get like a nice little job, and I'm just like, because I want abnormal results. I'm not complacent. I want, like, it's like, why are you doing all of this extra stuff? It's like, because I want an extra life. Yeah. Most people are complacent, so they don't want that.
And some people can't also put 2 and 2 together.
Yeah.
Like, I want all this, but what you're telling me I have to do all this?
Yeah.
They don't want to do that.
Exactly.
But I understand what it requires, and I always have.
If you want abnormal results, you got to put in abnormal work. It is a simple fucking equation.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah.
Like you can really tell if you're the type of person because if you like learning, when you start a new job, you're learning it and you like the job. But as soon as you've learned it all and it's kind of like muscle memory.
Yeah.
Then you just fucking despise it.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that's me. I can't do that.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
See, being complacent would just
You're
be
fine with doing that.
fine, yeah.
I'm not. I'm okay with learning the new skill. As soon as I've got it all done, I'm like, fuck this.
Number 8. The 8th rule of becoming the number 1 self-improvementer. Always put yourself first. So in a sense, be selfish.
Yeah, well, yeah. It's funny because if you be selfish, it's actually a pretty unselfish thing to do in the long run.
Yeah.
Because when you put yourself first, you put yourself in a position to be able to provide for more people.
Yeah, yeah.
And this is why, like, it's sort of backwards. Like, people will think you're being a cunt or you're being, like, you're not a nice person because you're, you know, saying, I don't want to hang out with you or I don't, and you're saying no to a lot of things.
I don't
And
want
you
to
put
don't have
yourself
time
first.
for that, yeah.
But in the future, you're going to be in a position to be able to help more people.
Yeah.
And they won't be. They'll be begging for other people's help,
Yeah.
being selfish. But putting yourself first is just, it's just not taking shit from other people and not letting other people control your life.
Yeah.
It's always going to be more beneficial for you.
Like at the start of your career, thinking about yourself will build you up to a position where you can have this resources and time to help others. Like, and that's
That's something I can actually give you credit for a lot, Hayden. You are very good at being like, how you describe it, like selfish in a way,
Yeah, but I don't want to be. I just don't have the time.
Exactly, but selfish in a way that's beneficial in the long run, just for everything.
I don't want to be. I hate saying no to people.
Yeah,
Like,
but-
I ask for help, but I don't.
But you
have
can
time.
actually put your foot down and just say no to a lot of things, which is actually a good trait.
No, I say I would, but don't rely on me because I don't have much time.
Yeah.
But yeah, I really want to help people. I just don't have the time at the moment.
Yeah.
But I will in the future.
Exactly. But yeah, it can definitely destroy your life if you just let if you just try to help everyone when you're not in a position to,
Yeah,
Mhm.
exactly.
and you put everyone else first,
Because you got fuck all resources, it's just being
Exactly.
used.
Yeah, I'm
Exactly.
like, how am I gonna help someone when I can barely help myself? Like, I
Exactly.
don't have the shit to help myself yet. I need to get myself going before I help others.
yeah, 100%.
I think that's all that needs to be said.
Yeah.
just put yourself first. Like
Yeah.
you are you at the end of the day.
Yeah, you are you. Yeah, 100%.
You are you
Yeah.
at the end of the day. It's your
Yeah.
life. Don't let other people control it. And that's a massive reason to why most people don't do what they want to do truly, because
Because they don't have an ego.
Yeah, and they fear the judgment of others because they care more about what others think rather than what they actually want.
Yeah. You're your own maker, mate.
Number 9.
Bars.
Stop caring. In general.
I feel like I just said.
Yeah, we pretty much.
I literally just said pretty much. Yeah.
No, this goes beyond that.
It goes beyond.
This
that
means stop fucking caring. Stop overthinking about everything.
Yeah.
There's so many people that just fucking care about shit way too much.
They always
About
say
everything.
The same shit. Oh, what if? Oh,
What if? What if? What if?
What if?
I don't fucking care.
What if? Just
Okay.
do it and find out.
Stop caring what people think. Stop caring about what the result of something's going to be. Stop caring if something bad will happen. Stop caring if something good will happen. Just stop caring so much about everything. Like, you're here once. It sounds philosophical, but you're here once. Just
also, we live in a world where the worst position you can possibly really like in the Western world, the worst place you can either be is homeless or jail. In jail, you get fed for free. You don't have to rock up to work. If you're homeless, people feed you. Like you're always going to be okay. You're always going to be okay. And I think people just over fucking, and that's what keeps people in these shitty jobs as well. They think they care too much about what might happen if they take certain risks.
or what people might think,
Exactly. That's massive.
which I think we can all agree is like the biggest
I think
one.
that's the biggest thing.
Yeah, and also stopping caring is pretty much what cured like my social anxiety. Like I used to just freak the fuck out. Like I wouldn't
Yeah.
do like
What if they don't
parties.
like me? Who cares?
Yeah, what if they don't like me? Or what if I don't know? I just used to have this fucking like weird. I used to hate social shit, and then or like you're driving. You know, like you're driving somewhere, and you're like, oh fuck man, like you're going to a party or something, and I'm just like, oh fuck this, like
Yeah,
too many
yeah.
people.
Like-
But in your mind, you're just like, why does it fucking matter?
Yeah.
Doesn't.
Like who fucking cares? Like who fucking cares?
Like when you care too much, you think up these stupid scenarios in your head that
Yeah.
are going to
Yeah.
happen, and that's people back out because of that. Like they think they're gonna fail, and then they're gonna go homeless or anything, and yeah, it's just unrealistic thinking.
You're living in your head.
Yeah.
You want to be present in reality.
Yeah.
You know, shit doesn't matter as much as people think it does. Like realistically, if you're not overthinking it,
Yeah.
Exactly.
that's why.
Like you live in a world where you're.
My brother in Christ, we live on a little rock in space. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah,
And you're that.
And-
But probably a little DNA on
and
someone's
how
toenail.
funny is this, right? If you care about what people like, if you really care about what people think of you so much, you can drive or fly.
10K one way.
Not even like like 100 kilometers away, and then no one you ever knew is even in your vicinity. Like, or you're 100 k's away from being away from everyone that you cared about.
Yeah.
Like,
You're just living in a bubble.
this
Yeah.
like how many countries are there in the? I don't know.
But
200 countries or some shit.
Alex Hormozy says it the best. He said, if they're not going to speak at your funeral, who cares what they think?
Yeah.
Like, legit, that's what I think. If they're not going to be at my funeral or say anything at my funeral, who cares?
That goes on to our next rule, the 10th rule of being the number one self-improvementer in the world.
Shut the fuck. Stop saying that.
The grocery store rule.
Yeah, this is something I actually heard
Exactly.
about. It's very true.
Say it. What
The
it
grocery store rule is if you want to avoid someone at the grocery, say for instance you're thinking of a certain person. If you see them at the grocery store, if you want to avoid them or you want to avoid like seeing them, like you go down a different aisle to avoid them,
Yeah.
then you don't need to care about their opinion and you may as well cut them out of your life. If this person you want to talk to him at the grocery store, you see him and you walk up to him and say what's up, those are the sort of people you want to keep in your life. That's the
Facts.
grocery store rule. If you
That was
see
like
them-
when we saw Rory in the grocery store. I'm like, it's Roars. I want to go speak to Roars.
Yeah, exactly. But if you see someone in the grocery store and you want to avoid them, then that's an indication that you probably shouldn't even have them in your life. I think the original definition of it was you shouldn't follow them on social media. But I think if it is like in the broad
In
perspective,
general,
like
yeah.
in general, like just
100%. Because realistically, if they're aligned with what you're doing, you'll have shit to talk about and you'll want to talk about. Number 11 of being the number one self-improvementer in the world.
Oh.
Persistence. You need to have it.
Yeah, so that's sort of like it goes along with the complacency one a little bit. Just being persistent, like when shit happens to you, just who cares? Just keep going.
It also goes along with pretty much everything we've said. Just
keep going. Like, just keep push through hardships.
stoicism, even when it feels like shit. Just
Yeah.
keep going.
Keep trying. Something fails, try again.
Yeah.
I mean, persistence and reps is at the end of the day is what's going to make you successful. If we're talking about the physical things
Exactly.
you need to be successful, it's being consistent in one task, getting the reps in, doing the same shit every day.
It's either like persist or like what else?
Lol, I care when I got to drive back from a sesh.
What?
I don't know.
Lol, I care when I got to drive back from a sesh. Oh yeah, because we're talking about not caring.
Yeah.
He cares when you got to drive back from a sesh.
I don't know. Just stop caring, bro. I don't know.
Yeah. Don't stress about it.
Boy,
Mate.
you might have to ring up and ask me on the phone, and I can give you an adequate response.
Maybe English, not the first language.
Oh, I got another rule that people could follow to get more self.
This is
What did I say?
only 13 rules, bro.
Fuck.
There's only 30 rules, no more, no less.
Nah, I'm gonna say it. Is see failure as a good thing.
Yes.
That's a big one. I've
That's
actually
huge,
seen.
yeah.
If you
Well,
see
that's what it is, persistence, yeah.
yeah, but like if you see failure as like a thing you want to avoid, you're not gonna learn anything. I'm sorry,
Yes, that's so true.
but, yeah. Don't push for failure. Don't try. Oh, with gym though, gym's good.
Yeah, fuck
Push
you
for
know.
failure.
That's what you want.
Yeah,
You want to get
just
failure.
fail at everything, mate.
Make sure you got a spotter if it's
You,
bench.
but you only learn when you fail.
Exactly.
Like, how are you gonna know? How are you gonna know what went wrong if you?
Well, I won't say that you only learn when you fail, but you
No.
learn the best way for sure.
the best.
Yeah.
The best way it is to learn from other people's failures.
Just don't be scared of failure.
Yeah,
Like,
don't- yeah.
don't look for it. But if it's going to happen, you just got to shrug it off and learn from it.
Like I said before, the worst that can happen is you're in jail or homeless.
Mm.
As a man, that's the worst thing that can happen in the
I
Western
mean,
world.
that's pretty fucked.
I've
Well,
never.
I don't like. Is it
Depends
really?
what I'm in jail
Is it
for.
really that fucked? Like jail, you get fed.
Yeah.
You don't have to go to work. There's a gym there. I know. I'd just be working out.
Mm.
Like especially in like the
No,
western
the worst
jails.
case is we just like everyone else work in a job that we don't like and
Yeah,
living that is worst
realistically-
case.
That's
Actually,
just,
like I said, worst case being homeless. That's only if you're a fucking like.
yeah,
If you're
you have to be
absolute
an
dead
absolute
shit,
dope
yeah.
to fucking
Yeah,
do
like-
that.
realistically, you get any factory job, make enough to literally rent a house by yourself.
And I understand there's obviously outliers. Like there's probably if this gets clipped or something, there's going to be people like yeah, but what disability, whatever, all these outliers. But realistically,
Get money from the government if you're.
yeah, in a broad perspective, like the worst case is you work at a factory. That's the worst case scenario. It's like people with jobs when they say, "What if I fail?" It's like you've already failed. This is the worst case.
Yeah,
This
yeah.
you are.
Oh,
This
man.
is the worst case scenario.
Man.
What are you talking about?
That's what's the fucking craziest thing to me. Is like me and you have never been scared to fail like that while doing business, but people would always say, "Well, what if you fail? Or what if this happens?"
Yeah.
Well, then I'll just be back to where I am fucking now.
Exactly. Yeah. They
So
think-
what?
They
So
think it
can't go-
stops. They think shit pauses.
yeah,
No money is going to be made up.
yeah,
So I got to do what you're fucking doing, mate. It's not hard.
yeah.
Bros will be living paycheck to paycheck. Like, what if I lose money? You don't have any money. You're fucking working a job, bro.
All right, the 12th.
Go gamble.
The 12th rule of becoming the best man you can. Always make decisions based on logic.
Yeah, that goes along with the stoicism thing, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty much what stoicism is.
Because this is a guide on being a man, that, yeah, you should think logically. Because women think emotionally. If you're thinking emotionally, you're a woman. Like,
Going back to the Wheat Bix thing, I could get branded Wheat Bix, less of it for $4, or I could get more of the home brand Wheat Bix for $3.50. Oh,
Same
but get the
product.
Wheat Bix because they've got an emotional connection to the brand, which is what big brands do.
logically,
Logically, no, I'm going to pay $3.50 for these Wheat Bix because they're cheaper and I get more.
And
That's
it's
a
the same thing.
and it's just wheat. It's just wheat. And that's another thing. I look back at the nutrition. I look back at the nutrition thing, which a lot of people don't do, because all I'm looking for is what I will get value, like the value I'll get out of
yeah,
it.
every time I grab something from the shops that I haven't had before, that's the first thing I do. Flip it around.
With-
Look at the.
A lot of people get emotionally swayed in grocery stores. That's all it really is. It's all these
Oh, it's a
like,
big
brands
marketing
trying to.
fucking.
That's why I look like the sugar shit. It was the
Yeah.
brightest colours.
Yeah.
Magnifies to it.
Exactly.
Centrelink. Yeah, that's the thing. You always got
Exactly.
Centrelink if you go back to square one.
Yeah, but worst
And they're
case.
fine.
Unless you're in a third world country, I'm not talking about that. We come.
Yeah, but, yeah.
We're in the perspective of a Western country, so.
yeah.
We've flown through these rules. Number 13th rule of becoming.
Should have made like 25.
Yeah. No, there's only 13.
Yeah, can't have 14. No.
13th rule: follow the 1% podcast.
Oh.
That was cheeky. Yeah, that was cheeky. Yeah, that's actually the one. Why should people follow the 1% podcast?
Because weekly episodes on self-improvement.
I'll tell you boys why you should follow the 1% podcast. Right?
Right?
Because you can relate to us. We are 3 Australian blokes on the path to success.
Correct.
Yep.
We have not gotten there yet. Well, where we want to be.
We have certainly fucking improved.
We have made great progress. We're sitting here with 3 cameras, a cameraman, thousands of dollars worth of equipment, a good solid business,
Our own rental.
our own rental place,
A 19.
2 cars.
3 cars in the...
3 cars.
3 cars in the front yard.
We've built great physiques. We've built great discipline. We've become boxers. Somewhat.
No.
And we've just made great progress.
Yeah.
And all I want to do on this podcast is just promote that, because I think that's just the best message that you can promote.
I think 2 years ago, I would fucking dream of this. I would
That's the
dream
thing.
of my physique, dream of my mental health, dream of this, having my own little place, having a show.
Having this goal to wake up
Yeah.
and be excited to to fucking keep going.
Most-
That was beyond me.
Most people would dream to have to want to progress when they wake
Yes.
up, or
Yeah.
even just be enthusiastic about life.
I think, being enthusiastic about waking up, getting out of bed, like wanting to get out of bed,
Yeah.
that is a fallacy to most people.
Well, I can really see why most people struggle to get out of bed is because they don't have a reason to.
Exactly.
Like I as soon as I wake up, I'm just like excited to keep, progressing in this vision of mine. It's just, and no wonder people stay in bed because they don't have that.
Exactly. That's what I
So
always
find
say.
goals.
I'm like, if
people.
you don't have goals, what the fuck are you doing? Like,
Yeah.
what
They don't know.
do you actually do with your time?
All they have to do is think.
No, they get this goal forced into their head. Get a fucking girlfriend. Get a house. Get a
Yeah, that's
dog.
like the-
get a child. It's like, no, that's like
Yeah.
everyone does that. Do something that's bigger than than yourself.
But they just feel like they're not worth that. That's the
But
thing.
you are.
That's the.
That's why you should keep listening to us.
Yeah.
Because we will get that into your head that you can do more.
Don't listen to negative rappers talking about killing people and having sex with multiple women.
Yeah,
We're
don't listen to
got
people
2
just
rollies
fat-
on each
fat-
wrist.
fat
I
hoes.
don't.
I'll
listen
tell you what,
to-
there are certain rappers that spit self-improvement bars. I
Yeah.
like them.
Yeah,
Curse
curse
Us.
us.
Fredo
Central
has
City,
certain songs he talks about just like running drills
hood
and shit,
self improvement. Yeah.
but there is certain songs where it's like, yeah, it came from nothing, whatever.
Yeah.
But I think, you should. I literally unbiased. This is a show that I would watch that I probably would have changed my life
Yeah.
if this was a show. Because what changed my life was exposure to this sort of stuff, like the Red Bull sort of stuff. Like
Yeah.
Steph is Cold was my first exposure to it, and then there was people like Von Dukat, and then like Hamza and all that stuff. Like this
Yeah.
is the stuff that can actually change lives.
Yeah, there's not much content out there that can really help people.
And one that isn't hated on.
Yeah.
A lot of people hate me saying this, I've heard, but the one person who switched my head around was Andrew Tate. Like hearing him
Yeah.
say shit that was just true, kind of like woke me up and went, "Oh, I need to just do shit for myself." And a lot of people don't like hearing that because they go, "He's fucking sexist."
But it's proven that it
But
actually changes lives.
It does. Like he's probably helping more men than anyone else in the world.
Than
He's
any
all fucking hated on.
like mental health foundation
Yeah.
or anything. Yeah.
So we are here to be the positive side of it, even though we kind of say the same shit. But you know,
positive.
well, it is positive, but no one's hating on us like him.
Yeah, well, it only has a negative connotation because that's the way the mainstream media want it to be perceived.
Yeah.
That's just the way they want it to be perceived, and that's why there's only ever negative. I literally argued this. Who was I talking to? Maybe I even said it on here. I forget where I say things. But I actually said that Andrew Tate has probably saved more lives than any mental health foundation or anything.
Well, it's like
that.
all these mental health foundations in Australia. Like, I'm not hating on them because it's spreading a good message at the end of the day. Like,
they're
improve
trying
your
to help
mental.
people.
They're trying to help people, but no one's being helped from that. I'm sorry, it's not.
not a
They're
proactive
There's
approach.
guys don't want to ring up a fucking hotline.
No,
right?
they don't.
They
It's
want-
embarrassing.
That's
It's embarrassing.
submissive.
It's submissive. They don't want to be told, how to feel better. They just need the right direction. They need to wake up knowing how to feel enthusiastic about life.
Like all of this therapy stuff is missing probably the most important thing, and it's like mental fitness. No, like being fit and everything, and they just skip straight past and they say shit like that doesn't matter, which is to me the biggest thing there is.
They don't have a proactive approach. They have a reactive approach. They're like, this is what you've been dealt. This is the hand you've been dealt. Now this is how to deal with that.
Yeah.
Rather than, let's change directions here because the direction you're heading down isn't beneficial for your mental health.
Yeah.
Or beneficial for your life in general.
They say shit like you develop depression, not your life is shit and you're sad. Like,
I think Oz has a better economy than New Zealand, without a doubt, because I've yet to see channels like this from here. Yeah,
it's probably just because New Zealand's smaller.
New Zealand's just smaller, yeah.
I would say New Zealand. Oh, I've never been in New Zealand, but the people there are generally more positive.
Yeah, 100%.
From what I've seen, New Zealanders are generally more happier.
And also, like I said, it's pretty rare for this sort of for actually a group of guys to come together and be able to post weekly, consistent content about this sort of thing. It just doesn't happen.
It doesn't happen.
It doesn't happen.
Yeah, let me just brag.
I mean, most Australian podcasts, for a start, are shit. But not only that,
And it's
they talk
completely
about
against the culture.
yeah,
completely against it.
This is this room is far different from any different room in Australia.
Going off most people, we aren't Australian. Like I've
Yeah,
been
yeah,
told
yeah.
that.
Yes.
Like I've been told I'm not Australian because I don't drink everything.
Might have to get a DNA check.
Yeah.
Fuck.
But yeah, like I said, most podcasts in Australia are either about like drinking or they're about
just useless
fa-
shit. Just
yeah.
ramble.
just culture,
Yeah.
or they just go
Entertainment.
off the Australian stereotype to get views or whatever.
Or they just talk about what's popular.
But I want to talk. But I wanted to make this podcast to help people to talk about real shit that's existing right now. Wake people the fuck up to this fucking fog.
And I think the real part where we stand out is we are Australian. We still have that little bit of blokiness in us, which now we can actually be relatable to the guys. Because I know there is probably millions of guys that are struggling in Australia, and they just can't relate to the American guys. They can't relate to. We're relatable to that because we're not that far from it. We're a year or two ago. We were just.
That's the thing.
Gone.
We've seen the lows. We've been through it. We're not some guy who has picked up a book and a journal and started preaching self-improvement. Like, we've been through breakups. We've been through poverty. We've been through drug addiction. Been alcoholics. Done it all. Like, we know where these guys are coming from. And that's why we can help them, because we actually understand.
Yep.
And another thing is also these mental health hotlines and stuff. They're all still depressed, trying to teach people how to not be depressed.
that blows my mind.
That doesn't work.
I've actually seen
they're in jobs that they hate.
What did I say? I said something in this podcast that got clipped and put up as a short, I said that I was pretty much saying that why are depressed people going to the depressed therapists to try to fix their mental health, and people said that's not how it works. All I said was, why wouldn't you listen to someone who's cured the depression rather than someone who has depression? And someone said that there was heaps of comments actually that said that's not how it works, and they actually couldn't find a valid argument why they said that. If that isn't just complete NPC programming, what is?
Well, it's addicting. Like constantly going over the same thought process and the same depressing thought process is addicting.
Yeah.
And there's countless studies out there. I'll have to get them up one day. But
I just want to know what they think does work then.
I
think that
they don't want to know what works, because working is hard.
Yes, I actually think they all know the answer. They all know the answer. They all know what they have to do. They just really cannot be fucked. They are lazy. Mm-hmm. They'd rather be lazy and depressed than actually put in the hard work. I think that's the reality of it, to be honest. Mm-hmm. And now that I think back, that is sort of the way I was. I knew that I should probably go to the gym. I knew that I should eat healthier. But it's just so fucking hard to make the switch.
It's hard at the start.
It's only hard at the start. It becomes enjoyable afterwards. But most people never see that light at the end of the fucking tunnel. So
the other reason why you should watch the 1% podcast is because it's going to grow. You're going to see mass amounts of growth next year, 2024. We're going to expand. Going to grow youth market. Going to grow the personal brands, and you're really going to see it all just come together.
It'll be one big universe, the Harley universe.
I've got a brand dropping soon.
Yeah.
You also got a brand dropping too? Are they still there?
They're just teasers. They're just teasers.
Little
Can I say what the product is? You can see what the product is.
Yeah, it's a wax bar.
New surfing brand coming
Is
out.
it not there?
Unbox it. We'll do a live unboxing.
Alright. So this is a box.
I'm fucking proud of this guy, man.
It's surf wax. I'm pretty sure you can guess what the brand's going to be about, but this is my first product that I've ever got.
niche.
Yes. It's going to be big.
Well, that's sick that I seen you make the packaging, design everything, talk to the manufacturers, all of that.
Yep.
When before...
Imagine we told you 2-3 years ago that you'd
from
do that.
someone even a year ago who thought
Yeah.
it was like the biggest dumb cunt
Yeah.
ever. Like I literally was like, I'm
Just
dyslexic, I'm autistic,
just
I've
filled
got
with all
bad
these
eyesight,
belief
what am I
limits,
gonna
yeah.
be able to do?
Oh,
And then I just started, I literally thought I was a fucking Luddite. You know what that means? You know what that means?
I heard of it, nah.
It's someone who just is device illiterate. No, they can't use devices. I literally thought I was that. It just turns out I've just never done it. So,
Yeah.
And then I just kept doing it, and now I know how to do shit.
That's
Yes.
just what having belief limits does.
Like
Fucking
literally
cucks
1
you,
year,
man.
like 1 year, and I'm doing this shit. Like that's all it takes. 1 year.
Few
of
months
your
of the
life.
Harley Hell. I should tell them we should open up a Harley Hell workshop.
Yeah, boys, I think we might run a Harley Hell workshop. It seems that every person that comes across me and Will seem to flip their lives around.
I'll tell you, it is hard to do it by yourself though.
It is. That's
Like,
why.
it's so hard. Like if anything, I've gone like more forward. Because I don't like have someone to fuck around with. Like when I used to just fuck around.
Yeah.
Oh, bro.
Like
yeah.
I now don't have that, and so
Yeah.
now I'm like I'm more dialed in. But yeah, it's so hard to keep going to get going by yourself.
That's why I've always been blessed to have a brother that's on the same
Like
shit.
twin brother, yeah.
But
Like, I
it's-
have a brother as well, but we have completely
Which a lot of brothers are like. That,
I'm getting him into it though. He's
It's good.
slowly getting
Give him a
onto
potty
it.
soon.
see, it's like a virus.
It
It
is.
like spreads.
It's probably
It's a
more
positive
annoying
virus.
because I like wake up at like 7 a.m. He's like in bed like, get off your ass, cunt.
Yeah, yeah. That was a rule that wasn't in the rule book. Is actually get a brotherhood, find a good network.
Yeah,
Well, it
yeah.
sort of was. We did the grocery store rule. It was basically, yeah, you got to have people that fire you up, that push you forward, not
That'll
drag
on the
you back.
same, like have the same dreams in a way.
And you'll actually notice when you get on this shit, everyone else that's just like everyone else that isn't. If you're not doing something productive with certain people, I've noticed anyone that I don't do productive things with, they've just vanished from my life
Yeah, yeah.
because they don't see any value from me. I don't see any value from them. It's just
Like,
they're
literally,
gone.
It's a mutual agreement.
Just because I've stopped drinking, I don't see much people.
Yeah,
anymore.
because they're all drinking buddies. They're not friends.
Yeah, exactly. They have the same interest in alcohol. They're not actually friends, which is sad. But like they'll learn one day.
Also, to the people that are consumers or in sort of a degenerate lifestyle, there is a whole like self-improvement community awaiting you. Like there really is. Like they're not like on self-improvement, but there's a whole side of the world that are competing,
Yeah.
that are leveling themselves up. All you got to
Yeah.
do is step in the gym and go, holy shit, I'm behind.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
Yeah, so-
I think I said this hack last potty, but it has helped me so much. Always carry a book with you. I think I did say it, but literally, I am never on my phone, and I'm always just learning now. Like whenever I'm eating, I'm taking a shit. I'm before bed. I'm just always learning now. Like I'm never slacking on my phone anymore. Get a book.
Fuck yeah.
Do you guys know what
Do it.
OTP
Honestly,
means?
do it. Just do it. I only get like 10 minutes a day of reading because I only do it when I'm eating. Just do it. It actually is so good.
Because I read Millionaire Fastlane, and I've read a few others, but the audio books.
No, actually get a physical book. Like it's just
I'm
better.
gonna give it to Jesse. I wonder if he's read that. Probably not.
Do you know what
Do it.
OTP means?
What?
Was literally OTP yesterday.
So you
On the
on the piss,
piss.
maybe.
On the piss. We guessed it.
OG what?
On the piss.
OGP.
I mean-
bro.
OGP.
OTP, on the piss.
Gee, this would be a fucking
OTP.
like bit of contrasting fucking message when you're on the piss last night. And you just hear this when you. This would be the worst.
I haven't had a drink in like 300 days. Actually, no, that's a lie.
No.
I had a few drinks.
Yeah, I went
a
300
couple
days
weeks ago.
sober and then had like a couple
Yeah.
drinks, but
I mean,
I'm
bro, if it's
restarting.
There's nothing wrong with
there's nothing wrong with getting on the piss,
Yeah.
man.
It's
Really
just
isn't.
you rely on it.
It's
like,
yeah.
yeah, unless it's an addiction, it's like the same thing with steroids, guys. Like, unless you're abusing it now.
Look, I think it's fine to do there are some things, but if you do something every now and then, that's fine. But just don't abuse it.
Yeah.
Just
Like
do
my
it.
caffeine
Do
addiction.
whatever the fuck you want to do.
Yeah.
But just understand that that's not progression. At the end of the day, no matter what you
Yeah.
do, getting on the piss isn't progression. But maybe you can allow that in your lifestyle.
Yeah.
maybe
It's
you're
up to
like,
you.
maybe you want to do
Maybe you just don't want it bad enough.
Maybe you want to be the next Steve will do it.
I think
Maybe.
the only time where it's like maybe it's better to drink is if you're in certain environments. No, actually, no, then again,
When
unless
is
you-
it?
That's just cope.
I can't
it's
think of a
cope.
situation-
I was just gonna say a situation where you will. Yeah, nah.
Well, I can't think of a situation. Where it's
Really,
better.
really, unless you like want to loosen up and you are really anxious about a certain situation, you just need a couple just to
Yeah,
fucking
yeah, sure.
mellow you
sure,
out and
sure.
literally be better in a
So
social
you have
situation.
to rely on a fucking.
Then that's
substance.
also reliance. Yeah, I don't know. It really isn't. It really isn't.
But-
At all.
Yeah. I think we'll wrap it up there. Those are the 13 rules of... Is there anything you guys want to say before we wrap it up?
As you can tell, we are the loosest cunts ever.
Yeah, no, we're very like uptight now. But just so you know, D-Dubs, we used to literally get on the piss like every weekend, blind.
Yeah.
And it was a ton of fun, but we're over it now.
Yeah.
Maybe maybe this is the stage in your life where
Fulfillment over fun. That was actually going to be... it was sort of along those lines.
purpose over pleasure.
Purpose over pleasure. That's the new shirt. It's coming out.
New youth market stuff coming soon, by the way, as well, boys.
We're all making clothes, boys. We're making clothes. We're gonna be very clothed.
Anyway, those were the 13 rules of self-improvement. Remember, there are no more, there are no less, only 13, and you must follow those 13.
Remember I made one up?
That was a bonus, doesn't count. It's not in the list, that's just a little bonus one.
We made this list like a couple hours ago.
Yeah. No, we didn't. I mean, those are the 13 rules
So, there.
that have been instilled in reality the
Look it up,
entire
mate.
time of existence.
Yeah. How many
Totally
viewers have we
didn't
got?
AI.
5 viewers.
Boys, I want to see his ring in next episode.
Also,
I'm trying to
thank
get
you to
call-ins.
everyone that's actually stayed and watched the whole thing.
Yeah.
That is impressive. I actually have never watched a podcast from start to finish. So I appreciate the attention.
Yeah, we'll gradually build up the audience. But yeah, smash the subscribe button if you found some value in it. Hit the notification bell. We upload every single week. The day has changed. It used to be every Friday at 6 p.m. But now it's every Sunday about 4 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time, which I'm not sure what that is in America or any other country. But
I think it's...
like midnight American.
Yeah, oh no, it's
Midnight?
not quite midnight, I think. It's like late. It's like 10 p.m, I think. 10
Okay.
p.m. 10 p.m. Saturday, I think, something like that.
So instead of going out drinking on a Saturday, you can go out, sit down and watch 3 redheads talk shit about self-improvement.
American time right now is... Oh no, you're right. It's like in Washington, D.C., yeah, it's about midnight. Oh, but then again, in like...
That was an
LA
hour ago.
In LA, it's like 10 p.m.
Bet it's 5:40, not 4.
And if you're in Honolulu, it's 8:30 p.m. Perfect time.
Honolulu. Is that Hawaii?
Yes, that's Hawaii. But yeah, so... Wrap it up, mate.
That's it. Hope you boys enjoyed. Now catch you in the next one. Peace. All right.
YouTuber.
Peace.